Hi, my name is Trey. I just turned 29, and today we're going to be going over my net worth. A little bit of context before we dive in. I work in user experience or conversion rate optimization work. What I'm trying to do is on a website that you may go to. I'm trying to make that experience as seamless as possible to either increase engagement or make a sale. I've been doing this work for about 5 years. It's really this career that has exponentially increased the growth in my salary. If you're interested in my whole career progression, I have a bunch of videos about it. It's really what inspired me to start this channel because when I first got out of school, I was doing admin work basically for a local translation company, and I was making just over the poverty line and was barely able to afford my bills, let alone invest at all. So I've had an entire journey to get to where I am today and the net worth that I'm about to share with you. So again, if you're interested in that, check out other videos on this channel to learn more about that progression. Without further ado, let's jump in. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to share all of the balances of all of my different accounts. So first up is my checking account. That balance is $4,614.44. Normally, I wouldn't have as many dollars as I do in this account, but the reason for that is I'm currently on a 6-week sabbatical that I negotiated with my employer. If you're interested in that, I'll put the title in the cards up here. I don't know which side it's going to be on, but if you're interested in that, feel free to click that and watch that after this video is over. Next up are my sinking funds. I keep this in a reserve account. This is usually related to car maintenance or birthdays. And so for that, I have $3,852.51. And lastly, that savings account I don't really use because again, the interest is really bad, but in there just to keep the account open, I have $54.74. Hi, Editing Trey, just real quick, when I said joke savings, for whatever reason the audio got cut out, but that account is with my, tied to essentially my checking account as well, and it doesn't get any interest, and so I keep my high yield savings in a separate account, so this joke savings is just to keep the account open. So hopefully that explains what that account is. Okay, thanks, bye! Now for my long-term savings, I have an incredible balance of $52,883.86. A lot of people might say that that is way too much to have not invested, but what I break this down into is my emergency fund, which is 1 full year of expenses for me right now, considering the economy and especially the state of the job market. My job in particular is being hit hard by just the speculation of AI, because in theory it could do some of the work that I'm doing. So the job market has really slowed down. So if anything were to happen, I want to make sure that I have at least 1 year's worth of expenses saved up. And that for me is $30,000. Now, my goal for this entire bucket is $60,000 because I want to have another $30,000 saved for that transition so that I have at least 1 year where I can make this transition, whatever that might be. All right, now let's talk investments. We'll start with the lowest funded account and then work towards our highest funded account. So the first account that I have is a health savings account, and I had that only for 1 year while I worked contract for the federal government doing UX on some of their internal house products, and I have never been able to qualify outside of that. So in that account, I have $3,230.21. Next up is my regular taxable brokerage account. Now this account is supposed to act as a bridge for my retirement accounts or my tax advantage retirement accounts so that if I want to retire early or I just don't want to pull from my tax advantage balances yet and keep letting them compound for a few years, I want this as that bridge into my retirement years where I will be forced to pull from those accounts or take an R&D or something. In that account, it is $23,887.91. Now we'll move into the tax advantaged accounts. Next up is my Roth IRA. So in there, I just hit the 50K mark, which is super exciting. So in there, I have $50,080.64. And finally, my largest investment account, my pre-tax 401k from my employer that I've rolled over the past, how long have I been working white collar? Like 8 years, 7, 8, oh God, that's gross to say. Yeah, oh my God, 29 minus 21, 8. Wow, 8 years, almost a decade. Balance has grown to $94,710.71. Oh, that just feels so good to say. We're so close to 100K. It's insane. Like, I look at that number, I'm literally looking at it right now. It's like that's why my eyes keep darting off screen, because I'm just, checking the numbers in my accounts. But if you would have told me when I was 21, when I first started that really shitty corporate job in this small firm that underpaid all their employees, that I would see not just a net worth, just in one of my accounts in just 7 years' time, almost $100,000 in it, I would have, like, my mouth would have been the most agape. I just spit. That's how excited I am. I just spit at the camera. But I'm like, I don't think I would believe myself if I could go back and tell myself that. Like, I would be like, you're just trying to motivate me to, like, do whatever. But $94,710.71 over the course of 7 years. What is that per year? It's really only the past, 4 years where I've been more aggressively saving towards it. So what is that number divided by 4? $23,000 a year, which makes sense. That's like maxing it out. So I guess that's pretty accurate. I've almost maxed it out every year where I've made over 100K. Okay, and I lied a little bit. I do actually have one other account. It barely counts for anything, but I do actually have a second taxable brokerage account. And the reason that I opened that is because I've met a lot of my financial goals, which I'll talk about after I reveal my final balance. But I opened this account to start to fund some goals that I just never really thought were possible. Things that I never thought I would get to dream about. Like, I don't even have them dreamt up yet. The only thing I can think of is a vacation home, but I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff. Or, do something else really exciting, like open a business or, whatever. And I just never thought it was gonna be possible. But anyway, I'm teasing. The number there is a measly $25.07. Again, super small because I literally just put that money in. It's really cool what it represents, and I'm really excited to grow it over this next year. That means my total is, drumroll please, $234,294. $234,294. $234,294. What? Over $200,000? I'm $16,000 away from being a quarter millionaire. That's insane. It's hard to fathom for a couple of reasons. I think the first reason, and not to be a bummer, but the first reason is that a lot of this money is kind of intangible because it's in retirement accounts, it's in tax advantage accounts that will get penalties if I try and take it out. Of course, I already know the rules. I know I can take out what I've put into a Roth IRA, for example. That is for my future self. Like, I've hit Coast Financial Independence, and for those of you who don't know what that means, that essentially means that I no longer have to contribute to my retirement because my retirement balance, which I believe is about 175K, will grow and compound over the next 3 decades, because I have at least 3 decades till I retire, for it to compound enough for me to support myself in those last 30 to 40 years of my life. It allows me to dream bigger, live closer to my values right now. I can get that vacation home. I can really lean into a business. I can really think about a business and do it in a way that isn't, super risky. It's intimidating in the best way, because it's like, okay, you've done what you need to do, Trey. You have built, an incredible basis for yourself over these past 8 years. And now it's time to do what your heart calls you to do. And while that's scary, that's the best problem and anyone can hope to have. So what does this mean for my future wealth building journey and strategies? Well, I'm likely going to turn the dial down a bit. Because my Coast-Fi status has been achieved and my investments will compound on their own, of course, assuming performance stays relative to how it has been the last 100 years, nothing's guaranteed, but we also can't plan for scenarios that we don't have data for really effectively. So this is how I'm going to continue my own plan. But in any case, I'm likely going to downshift my investments going forward and either save more in cash or start actually spending more lavishly on things like vacation or treating my family or starting a business or things like that. In addition, I'm going to be saving into that new taxable brokerage account for those medium-term goals that might happen within the next 5 to 10 years, like buying a vacation home or maybe moving into a bigger house with my partner, or starting a business. In terms of my career, I might also downshift and either take on less responsibilities at work, try and negotiate part-time status, or change careers completely. I'm not 100% certain exactly what I want to do yet, and once I have more clarity, I will definitely be uploading a video about it. But the point is, this net worth, almost $250,000, has opened up all of these different doors for me. And while I may not have the entire balance to be able to achieve something like going back to school to, completely change careers yet, I have more than a head start in pretty much any area that I would want to go, whether that is spending more lavishly and buying a new home, whether that is starting a business, whether that is going back to school, or whether that is negotiating part-time work and continuing to do what I do now, but either for a different employer or less hours. With that, we're going to end here today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, of course, all the things, please like it, please leave a comment, ask any questions that you might have about my career or my finances during these past 8 years, and I will make sure to get back to you. And please subscribe if you really enjoyed this and look forward to more content like this. Thank you so much again, and I will see you next time. Bye.